Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul from Vintage Sports Card Finds. Today I made a couple of purchases at the flea market. I've been having a repeat customer of mine who's a coin customer, and he's been a collector of cards for a long time as well. And some of the cards I've been bringing in small lots the last few weeks have come from purchases I made from him. And today was no different. He brought in some cards for me to look at, and there were a couple I picked up. I'm very pleased with this grouping of cards for the most part. This one I don't need. This one will be for resale. This is a 75 Reggie Jackson. This card just was kind of thrown into the lot more as a, deal sweetener with one of the other cards on a price that we were sort of kind of back and forth on. Yeah, so this was just a card that was sort of thrown in after the fact. So that's 75 Reggie Jackson, and that'll just be for resale. And then I picked up some other cards that I think I need all of them, and one of them might be an upgrade. So this one here, I'm pretty sure I need this card, but I'm not positive. This is a 1960 early win. Card's in nice shape. I'm going to take it out so we get so as to give you guys a better look at the condition of the card itself. So this is an early win in, VG condition. Nice looking card. Looks pretty solid. And obviously this is a card number 1. So condition is always an issue, especially on vintage sets with card number 1 and the last card of the set because of rubber bands and all of that sort of thing. So this early win, I think even if I didn't need it, the condition of this card might be an upgrade. So I was pretty pleased to get that. And that one I got that for $5. Then came some of the bigger purchases I made from him. There was this one here, is a 66 Pete Rose. Again, I took it out of the holder so you get a better look at it. Some rounding, a little bit of touching on the corners, but overall a fairly nicely conditioned card. Centering is an issue. Centering was an issue on this card, but overall, for a 60s Pete Rose, looks pretty good. I think I need it. I'm not positive, but I think I need it after I do, after I do this video. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check and see if, in fact, I need this card for the set. The 66 set is one that I've got quite a bit of work to do on it, so feel fairly confident that the Pete Rose was one I needed. So I'm trying to figure out, remember the prices I paid for this. So I think this one I paid $30 for, and I was pleased with that. We comped it out. It was probably selling around $45.50 raw. So he was the one who gave me the $30 price. We looked at this one as well. This is a low grade 59 Mickey Mantle All-Star card. Rough condition, looks really beat up. Some creasing, you can see it there. So as I kind of like wiggle it back and forth so you can see where the creasing is on it. So this is a card that would probably be a 1, 1.5, maybe a 2, something like that. But it's a Mickey Mantle, and so we comped this out as well, and the comps on this card were somewhere. So we saw one that sold for 50, kind of low grade like this, one that sold for 50, one that sold for 60, and one that sold for 70 in recent purchases. So he came up with a price. He said, I'll take 40 on it. And I said, all right, I'll take 40 for a 50s Mantle, even in low grade. So I was pleased with that one as well. And then kind of the big one for me. I mean, it's not necessarily the most expensive, although it is in this case probably the highest resale value on the card out of any of these, but is the George Brett rookie. So I have a video where I did a breakdown of the 75 Topps baseball set, right? And if you guys have seen that video, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it in the description below, or I'll try to anyway, as best I can. But I'll try to put a link to it in the video below. But if you had seen that video, I was able to finish that set, but the set I used to finish it had issues. So it had like indents in all the corners, almost like somebody had put some of the cards had put all of the cards actually in one of those old picture books where you kind of tuck the picture under a little lip. And so the George Brett in that set had those 4 indents on each of the corners. And you can certainly take a look at it and see what the scenario is. But this one, I did take it out of the holder. I wanted to see what it looked like condition-wise, because again, I knew I had the Brett, and I wanted to know that the card I was buying was going to be an upgrade, and this one is. So you have there's no indents obviously on this one, and the card is pretty strong. It's fairly decent centering. There's touches on basically all 4 corners. So it's not very high grade, but it'll be like maybe a 5 type, could potentially be a 5. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be a 4 or 4.5 if it were graded. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because I'm probably not going to grade this card, for a while. But I was pleased that it looks better, and I'm pleased that I was able to upgrade the Brett from the 75 set. So this was my favorite purchase of the ones. I mean, obviously, anytime I can pick up a Mickey Mantle or Pete Rose, those are great cards, great vintage cards. But this one, really, just because I know how important it was to upgrade my 75 set, especially with the key card in the set, I was pretty happy about that. And that was it. And I'm sure next week he'll probably bring in some more vintage cards. That's what he's been doing. He's been bringing them in piecemeal. I'm not really, that's not really how I like to buy. You get the better deals when you buy in bulk, but that's how he's been bringing them in. So the good news about that is I've been able to pick and choose which cards I do want and which ones I don't. And so there's a give and take. I don't have to buy all of the cards, but I am paying more on a per card basis than I would normally. So basically, this Brett I paid $45 for. He wanted $50. I gave him the $50, but it was with the Reggie Jackson. So I got this one basically for $45. So I was pleased with that. Obviously, for a card that I know easily, if I had to resell this card, I could get $60-65 for it. By current standards anyway. That could go down. We know how the bottom has sort of been falling out of the cards lately in terms of prices. And one of the keys, right, during the pandemic, I continued to buy cards, but I bought them at pre-pandemic prices. So if I could get them at the prices I knew that they were actually worth, I would pick them up. If not, I wasn't picking them up, because I'm sure a lot of you who have been card guys before the pandemic knew what the value of these cards actually were. right? It was a reach to be paying these crazy outlandish numbers. Some people did because they thought the market was going to be better or just continue to go up. But in reality, we all knew that at some point the market was going to correct. It had to. And so even now, we're still paying a little bit over pre-pandemic price, but it's more in line with what cards were selling for back in the day. So that's it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoy the content, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to hit that notification bell to keep you updated of anytime I release a video. And as always, guys, happy hunting. Thanks.